All right. So, sitting up, finding a comfy place, closing your eyes, taking a couple deep breaths in through your nose, out through your mouth. Think about calling back all of your energy from your day, from your weekend, your week, from last month. Just pulling it all back. All the places where you've given away energy or left energy or it was taken from you. Just imagine that all coming back to you. There's certain things where you feel like your power was taken away. Kind of call that power back to you. And if there's anything that's really stuck in your space, that's kind of aggravating you or frustrating you, kind of like how we're pulling all of our power back and all of our energy back, I want you to think about taking anything that's just really making you grumpy and condensing it together, like crumpling a piece of paper, and then send it right down through your hips into the earth, just like you're pooping it out. Sending that down to the earth. And let's start with a nice chill yin pose. This is one of my favorite yin poses because it stimulates 12 of our main 14 meridians. It was butterfly pose, but with the feet far out in front of us so that if your forehead was to come all the way down to your feet, it would rest right in that little cave that your feet make. And this is so good because it's like it opens up the IT bands, it opens up the inner thighs, it opens up the outer hips, the low back, the whole spine gets a little stretch here. And then you're going to just let the head hang. So you might need blocks. You may need to support the knees. You may need to support the head. You may need to support the arms. So wherever you need support, you can find it. Dropping yourself forward. Let the head hang. I like to turn my palms up because that encourages the shoulders to relax. Letting the head completely go, letting the shoulders relax away from the ears. Think about every exhale softening a little bit deeper, someplace in the body. So identifying those areas where you're feeling tension, relaxing. See if you can shift a little deeper into the pose, send the hips back a bit more, lift the chest and the heart forward, and then melt down. And then lift the chest up and bring the knees together so that your belly and your chest kind of rest on the thighs and on the knees. And then I want you to just wiggle those legs or feet forward, but keep the belly and chest on the thighs. And then you're going to stop wherever it becomes difficult to keep your belly and chest on the thighs. And again, just let the head hang. And just see if you can go a little further, maybe, with the chest and belly still on the thighs. And once again, turning the palms up will help with those relaxing shoulder situations. And then see if you can wiggle those legs a little longer, keeping the chest and belly down. Maybe you can wiggle a little longer. And if you find that you have to pop up, then bring those knees back up to the place where you can keep the chest and belly on the leg. This is probably my least favorite yoga pose, when we have to keep the chest and belly on the thighs. It just shows me how tight my body is, and I feel it everywhere. And then roll up, lengthen the legs all the way out, and round over top of the leg. And think about that spot in your spine that feels the tightest right now. And we're going to take the next minute to just focus our breath into that place. So as you inhale, think about expanding around that spot in the spine. And as you exhale, think about softening that spot. And then rolling yourself up. Taking a moment with a nice long spine, shoulders pull back and drop down. We're going to internally rotate the left leg from the upper hips. You can actually grab the thigh and roll it in. Right foot is going to kind of pin that left leg internally rotated. So I'm just leaning my like right outer ankle into my left outer knee as I rotate it in, which keeps that leg pinned in place. Turn the chest towards the right foot, so to the left, and then fold your chest and your head towards your right foot. This should start to get up into the outer hip, outer thigh, upper hip. I can't speak today, guys. Outer thigh, upper thigh, outer hip. There we go. English works. And we roll up, unhook, extend out the right leg, internally rotate the right leg, bring the left ankle to the outside of that right knee, hinge it in place, hook it in place, rotate to the right, and then start to fold towards that left foot, dropping your head down. Rolling up, unwinding. And I want to come into a pigeon variation here, and then I want to add a little bit of a twist in, but I'm going to show it to you first so that, because it can be confusing once we're in it. So You're all very familiar, I'm sure, with the reclined pigeon, which looks like this. And then from here, when I prompt you to rotate, you're just gonna let go of the legs. Everything stays in the same shape, and the legs just rotate so that the foot that's lifted drops down to the floor. And then you can kind of play with that foot, sending it in or out, as well as pull the knees up maybe, and push the knee out to find the stretch for you. The important thing once we do get here is to think about dropping the rib cage and the hip down, and that's typically what gives you the really good stretch through the hip. So let's start off on our backs. And I'm going to cross the right ankle over the left knee, pull the left knee up and in. You can either grab hold of the front of the knee or the back of the thigh, or if you're finding that even grabbing the back of the thigh, you're kind of straining through the neck and shoulders, grab a strap or a towel, a belt, and place that around the front of the knee so that you're hanging onto the strap and the shoulders can relax. We're going to release the leg, drop over to the left. So the outer left leg and the right foot come down. And you relax the right shoulder arm out. And then think about sinking that right low back, right hip down to the floor. You should start to get a stretch through the low back, the outer hip, maybe even into the upper IT band. If you're not getting that, then start to move your right foot in or out, or pull the legs closer up to your left shoulder. You're going to take a deep breath in, and as you exhale, bring those legs back center. You're gonna lengthen the left leg down the mat, grab hold of the back of the right thigh, and just extend the heel up towards the sky. Taking a nice little stretch here. Tuck your chin, look towards your thigh. Walk your hand up your leg as high as it'll go without letting the shoulders rise up, so you keep the shoulders pulled down. Hover the left leg up off the ground. Reach through both feet. Keep the upper body where it is. Pull your belly towards the mat. And then switch legs. Keep reaching through your heels. Keep pulling your belly down, shoulders away from the ears. Switch. 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 Belly pulled tight. Shoulders down. Switch. 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 And switch. Relax your head down. Keep hold of that leg. Relax the right leg down. Just enjoying the stretch through the left leg. And then bend the right knee, foot to the floor, across the left ankle of the right knee. Pull that knee in, grab either the back of the thigh or the front of the knee, or find an arm extender of some sort if you need it to make sure those shoulders are relaxed. We'll release the leg. Drop everything over to the right. So outer right leg and left foot come down onto the ground. Relax the left arm out. Relax the left low back, pulling the left hip down towards the floor. And then if you need a deeper stretch, you move the left foot in or out, or the legs towards you. Really trying to relax through the hips. Now take a deep breath in. Exhale, come on back, center. Take that left leg up, right leg down. Interlacing the hands behind the left leg. Be a second to breathe into that stretch. And then tucking your chin, looking towards the thigh. Walk the hands up the leg as high as you can go while still keeping the shoulders down. Lift that right heel off the ground, reaching through both feet. Belly draws down into the mat, so the low back really sinks and pushes into the mat. And then we switch. That switch. 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 And then switch. Lower down. Hanging onto the leg still. And then release. Knees bent, feet to the floor. I'm going to take the left hand, palm down onto the mat. You're going to kind of roll to the right, bend the elbow, and work the back of the hand into the mid back. And then you can replace your back onto your arm. So my palm is flat down and it is under my mid back. If that feels like a good enough stretch through the front of the shoulders, stay there. If you need more, you roll over to the side and you work that hand up as high as you need to be able to drop down. Elbow stays down on the floor. And then if you'd like, if it's comfortable, you can extend the legs out. We're looking for that stretch to come kind of a little, maybe across the chest, down the delt, into bicep, maybe a little tricep. And again, you can work that hand up towards the head, work the elbow in towards the spine. And then you're just using the mid back really as a weight to open up a little deeper. Back out of this, you'll bend your knees, feet to the floor, roll yourself over to the right. Unwind that arm. Just take a second, flat on your back with the arms out, palms turned up. We switch sides by rotating to the left, bringing the right hand under the mid back, starting there, but kind of getting an idea of where tightness is in our body. So I've been working with a shoulder injury, and this is just about as much as my body wants to do today. So if your body wants to go deeper, you lean back to the left, you work that hand up towards your head, elbow down towards the hips and in towards the spine, and then you lie yourself back. Extending the legs gives you more pressure, typically through the spine. Your legs are extended, bend the knees, feet to the floor, tipping over to the left. We unravel the arms. Come back onto your back, turn your palms up. Just resting for a moment, letting that shoulder release fully. And then bend the elbows. Take a second here in cactus arms. And just notice if your mid back wants to pop up here to allow those hands to drop down. Hug the ribs down into the mat. Tuck your tail so that the pubic bone and the bottom rib get closer together. So you really force this into the shoulders. Notice if your shoulders are rising up towards your ears. You want to pull the shoulder blades down the back. Bring the arms together, roll over on the one side, bring yourself up. And we're gonna do a seated shoulder neck opener. You wanna grab a block. I'm gonna turn around so you can see this. The block is essentially kind of the pose we just did. Block is gonna be in your mid back. You're gonna bring the back side of your hand onto it. And then, so my left arm is behind me. That's a really nice stretch already through the top of the delt. But from here, I'm going to tip my head to the right and then turn my face down towards my underarm. bring the face back forward, but continue to let the ear drop towards the shoulder. And then keep the head dropped over to the right, but start to rotate the face up towards the sky. That should really get through that whole left side of the front of the throat. You might not get much movement there at all. That's fine. And we bring the head back center. Release the arm from the block. And just relax the hands down on your knees, palms turned up. And then we'll swap sides. So right arm behind the back. In that onto that block. Starting off here, just feeling how as that shoulder kind of rolls forward and descends down, you get the nice stretch through the delt, down into the bicep, outer bicep, even down into the tricep. I feel it actually on this side in my tricep attachment. I'm in the back of my armpit. We're really trying to relax that arm as much as possible. Tipping the head to the left. And then rotating the chin down towards the underarm. And then rotating the head forward, but dropping the ear down still. And I can really feel the difference on this side compared to the other, this side being injured. I get this all the way down my forearm into my fingers. And then starting to rotate your face up. Just as far as you can. And I feel this in like the center of my brain. Gently picking the head up. Release the block. Release the arm. The arms rest, palms turned up on the knees. Let's do some side body, shoulder blade stretches. So go ahead and come on into down dog for a moment. From down dog, we're going to come into plank. Roll over into side plank. Bring the arm up and over. A nice stretch through the whole side body. So you want to think of rainbow movement here, really arching between the hips and the shoulders, reaching that up. And then reaching up and coming back to plank. And swap these over to the other side. Bring the arm up and then up and over. Arching again between the hips and the shoulders. And reach up, back into plank. Drop the knees down. Bring the hips right on top of the knees. And then walk the hands forward and drop the chest down. Round through the low back, roll through the spine, come on down onto your belly for Sphinx. If you've got blocks there, you can put blocks between the elbows and the hands so that we really stay in line here. Palms turned up, relax your hips. Let the bottom ribs slide down and forwards and pull your shoulder blades down your back really strongly. Shoulders keep pulling down the back. Try to relax the glutes. You'll notice that you clench them up really mindlessly. So every once in a while, you gotta kind of shake it out. And then you're going to slowly release and just lower your head onto your hands, one hand on top of the other. Press yourself back into child's pose. And then make your way onto your back for Shavasana. I'm going to opt for a restorative Shavasana today. So if that's something that you dig, I'm just putting one block on its side, one block on its end. The block on its side is going to go with my shoulder blades. And the block on its end is going to go right under my head. Ooh. Other options are to bring legs up the wall or to roll up a towel, put it under the knees. Taking a couple deep breaths. Coming back to your body. I highly suggest doing yoga outside because I just opened my eyes out of Shavasana and there's a cloud over me that looks like a T-Rex. And it just made my day. Oh. Wherever you are, you're going to slowly bend your knees and then roll to one side. And very slowly at your own pace, make your way back to seated. The dog is staring at me out of the door here. Like, why? Are you not letting me come out? Closing your eyes, coming back to your breath. You have all that energy we just moved during our practice today, loosen stuff up. So if there's anything that's not serving you or it's not yours, just kind of funnel it all into that main conception meridian that runs down the front of your body, and then the governing meridian that runs down the center of the back of your body, and just shove it into those channels and then dump it down into the earth. Let it all go. Bring your hands together. He's licking the window now. Bring your hands together, your heart. Take a moment to just be thankful for something. Thank you guys so much for joining me today. Namaste. Oh, let this crazy dog out. What are you doing?